Okay. Hi everyone. Okay. So in SAP, there is a concept called BO, business object. Okay. And the T code is SW01. Okay. SW01. This is the T code for business object. If I go here, the material, maybe material. First, 1001. Okay, so there is a business object for material. Okay, so I'll explain that. Here is the key field. Here is the method. Change material. Material. Okay. So now here a little bit of OOPS concept, but not the OOPS. We'll read details on that. So here we have a business object. So business object represent a as an object, right? So we have a material. So whatever we see in the real world, that is an object. Okay. So material is an object, sales order is an object. So what SAP has done, as per the process, it has defined the business object. Okay. So if I see purchase order, okay. So purchase order is a business object. So it's a representation of the entity. So there is so many entity. Purchase order. Okay, I think purchase order is BS 2022. Purchase, purchase requisition. Purchase order, payment order. This is 1 second. PO. No. Purchase order 2120. So there is an entity purchase order MA23N. So they have visualized that as an object. Okay, business object. So each object has certain attributes. Okay, so if we take an example of student, each student has an attribute name and roll number and all. Similarly, purchase order has this attribute: purchasing group, purchasing organization, vendor, and all. Okay, so they have defined the attribute and they have defined the methods. What are the methods? So these are the methods which can be run on a purchase order entity. For example, release, create. Okay, so if I come to the student, so the method can be eat or study, sleep. All those are the method that can be called on the student. Okay, similarly, in the purchase order BO, so we can have the method like get list, release, change, and all. Okay. If you go inside a method, if you go here, you are able to see a function module associated. Okay, function module associated that starting with BAPI. And what is the type of the function module is remote enabled. Okay, so BAPI. So what is BAPI? So BAPI is a function module which is mapped, or we can say more specific, remote enabled function module which is mapped to a method of a BO. Okay, so now if I go to any of the business object, okay, so if I go to sales order business object, BUS 2032. So there is a business object defined for sales order. Again, it has the field, key field, it has the attribute, and it has set of methods. Okay, and the name of the business object is BUS 2032. Okay, so this concept, like if you are not able to relate with business object, that's fine. Okay, but I'll try to explain it again, that each entity, okay, so purchase order, sales order, purchase acquisition, quotation, material, vendor, customer, and all, whatever entity we can have in SAP, there is a object oriented approach are associated with that. Okay, so SAP has created business object for each of the, not each, like most of the entity, SAP has created the business object that represent a entity. So BUS 2032 represents sales order. Okay, BUS 2012 represent purchase order. 1001 represent material. Okay, and each business object have certain attribute. Like if it's a material, then purchase order, industry, material type, group, all these are attribute. Okay, and we have methods: display, edit, delete, and we have events: created, start, maintainer, view, created, all those things. These are the events. And why BUR came into picture? Mostly in the workflow side, it was in used previously, business object. Okay, and another thing is the BAPI. So you can connect a third-party system just like .NET or Java to SAP using business object connector, and you can call this method from outside. That is another use. Okay, so that is more on the business object. So here I have the methods. In the methods, if I see display is a method, okay, so here is the type, result type, and here the name. Okay, and a function module is associated with the method. So this function module is known as BAPI, and all the BAPI should start with BAPI keyword. Okay, BAPI. So BAPI is a remote enabled function module which is mapped to a method of a BO. BO means business object. Okay. So what is remote enabled function module, guys? A remote enabled function module. We discuss it. We already discussed it when discussing function module. Remote enabled function module. So remote enabled function module are the function module. These are the function modules which can be called from outside from the outside, maybe from another SAP server or a third party. Okay, remote enabled function module. Okay, so remote enable function module can be called from another server also. So I think we have discussed this. Let me check if I have written it here. No. Okay. Here. A remote enable function module here. Okay. So there is a server here, kit IDS S4, and there is a server kit IDS BW system. Two different SAP server. Okay. And get FI balance is a function module that is created in the S4 system. And there is a program I written in the BW system, and I want to call this function module from S4 HANA system. So this is a separate server, this is a separate server. And I created the function module here in this server, S4 HANA server. I want to call this function module from another server. So what I have to do, I can create this function module as a remote enabled function module. Okay, a remote enable function module. So which I can call from another server. Okay, so that is RFC. But there is a difference between BAPI and RFC. Okay, so BAPI is a RFC. BAPI is a RFC. RFC enabled function module, remote enabled function module. But BAPI is mapped to a method of a BO. Method of a BO. If I go and create a remote enable function module, that I cannot call it as a BAPI. That's still a remote enable function module. If I map that particular remote enable function module inside a business object, then I can call that function module as a BAPI. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Difference between BAPI and remote enabled function module. So it's a interview question, okay? So when you say I know BAPI, they'll definitely ask. Okay, so what is the difference between BAPI and remote enabled function module? So you can say that BAPI is a remote enabled function module, but BAPI is mapped to a method of a BO. What is BO? So BO represent business object. The T code is SW01, and it represent a entity in object-oriented manner. So we can have a business object for sales order, for material, for vendor, and all those things. So is it clear, guys, so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Give me a moment, guys. I'll bring my charger. I'm almost out of charge. Okay, so this BOR are available for many of the entity like sales order, purchase order, material, customer and all. Most of that. I'm not saying for all. Okay. So now if a BAPI, okay, so usage of BAPI, okay, usage of BAPI is the creation of creation of mm, creation object creation, okay, creation of the data, okay. For example, creation of material master, customer master, etc. Okay, creation or change, deletion, all those things. Okay, so this is the usage. So let's say there is a BAPI available, we can perform some sort of operation. So creation is a operation, change is a operation, deletion is a operation. Okay, so now, so what kind of program is this, guys? This is a conversion, right? Conversion. So now, in the previous class, what we have learned, guys? BDC, right? Versus BAPI versus LSM. Okay, all these three things are related to conversion. Okay, so now you will ask, sir, what will be the right approach? So last 2 or 3 classes, we have been learning BDC, right? We have been learning BDC with session method using call transaction. Now we are learning BAPI, and BAPI also we are saying that we can create the data. Okay, so now the question is whether we'll go for a BAPI or LSN BDC or LSMW. I'll explain LSMW little bit later. Okay, but now the question is whether we should go for a BDC or BAPI. Okay, so guys, do you have this question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because till now we learned that if you need to upload the data, we have to use BDC. Now we are learning that we have to use BAPI. Okay. So what is BAPI, guys? BAPI is a function module, right? Okay. How? So let's say if I want to create the material, I can call the BAPI for material creation. Okay, so there will be a function module for material creation. I can directly call it and pass the data. It will create the material. Okay, so this is the approach for BAPI. Very straightforward. Very straightforward. Okay, straightforward approach. But if I have to go for BDC, what is the approach, guys? What is the approach for BDC? Create recording, right? Then create program, then run BDC. Either call transaction or session. Okay. So what is the disadvantage? Is this is a lengthy process, right? We have to do a recording and we have to create the program and again we have to do whatever. Okay. It's a lengthy process and also maintenance is difficult. Okay. Maintenance is difficult. What does it mean, maintenance? So let's say you created a program to upload 10 fields. Okay, so now user asked you to add 2 more field. So again, you have to do the recording and you can do a comparison of previous recording, and you see whether to insert, where to insert the code. So it is a long process and it is very difficult. Okay, so at a single go, if we have the requirement, we can do the recording. But as the time goes by, we will get a change, right? Some new field will be added to the file. So in that case, doing a change to a BDC program is far more difficult. If it is a BAPI, you just assign the additional parameter and pass it to the FM. That is very straightforward. But if you want to do this change in a BDC, it is bit difficult. Okay. And also sometime, so BDC will run screen by screen. Okay. The only difference is we are not running the screen. It is automatically getting run. But BAPI is not like that. There is no screen involved. So no screen sequence. Okay. So the another disadvantage of BDC is that the screen sequence or behavior will change, may change. So in that case, it is difficult to handle in a BDC. Okay. So the option is, if BAPI is available for a T code, then go for BAPI. If BAPI is not available, then go for BDC. Is it clear now, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If BAPI is available, you should always give the priority to BAPI. Okay. So the next question is how to find the BAPI. So let's say there is a transaction, you want to do the conversion program. So how you can do the BAPI? Okay, so how to find the BAPI? Okay, so the first thing is the SWELS. Event tracing. Okay, SWELS. Okay, to trace the events. Okay, so switch off, switch on. I have switched on. Now I'll go to MM01 and I'll try to create a record. So material is created. Okay. And I'll go and switch off the event trace. SWELS, switch off. Then I'll go to SWEL to see the tracing. Okay. To see the tracing. Okay. So here are the business object. Are you able to see, guys? SWELS to start and stop the events. Okay, event tracing. Then SWEL to see and trace result. Okay, so I switch on the trace and I created a material. Then I switch off the trace. So what happened in during creation, if any event is fired in the back end, so that been traced here, I'm able to see. So this is a business object. I can go to SW01 and I can check what is this business object, standard material, and here I can see some of the methods create. And if I go to here, here is a BAPI available. So I'm able to find a BAPI. Okay, this is one way of doing. Okay, interview question, guys, how to find the BAPI. Okay, so the first approach is event tracing. So you have to remember two T codes, SWELS, you have to switch on, then you have to perform the transaction. So I want to create material master. So I will run material master. After it is created, I'll go and switch off the trace, same T code, SWELS. Then I'll see the result in SWES. And when I see the result, I see the business object here. So once I found the business object, I can go to SW01 and I know that BAPIs are the methods. It's mapped to the methods. So I can see the methods and I can find out what is the BAPI. If this thing is clear, guys.
Sir, first we will
Yes.
create the material detail table.
No table. So this is a standard T code. Okay, SAP has already created the table. It already created the program. It already created the T codes. Now we want to automate the creation of material master. Okay, so now
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
if I want to create a material, I have to go to MM01. I provide now. I'm only providing two things, guys, here to make it simple. See how many views are there. I'm only selecting basic one, basic two. There is, see how many views are there. See, okay. So create one material. It may take 5 minutes or 10 minutes of time. Okay. So if I go here, more field are added. I'm only selecting basic data 1 and 2 because I want to show you the approach. I'm not teaching you how to create material master. I'm teaching you the BDC, BAPI and all. So for sake of simplicity, I am only selecting these two views. Okay, when we in the real time, we have more views. So more data, right? So one material master creation maybe take 2 minutes, 3 minutes of time. If there is 1,000 material, then it's a big headache or a big job. Okay, so what we are doing, we are just automating the process. That's it. We maintain the value in the Excel file, upload it in backend, it will create the material for us. Okay, so till now we have done it as part of BDC. Today we will see how to do it through BAPI. Okay, so but the question is, how do you find the BAPI then? That's the question. Okay, how do you know the name of the BAPI? So this is through event tracing. The first answer is event tracing. Okay. So Bhagya, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Second approach is, if you still, there is sometimes for some T codes, there will be no event fire. In that case, you can go to the T code BAPI. Okay, so I'll take it to the new slide. Another option one is event tracing. Option two is T code BAPI. There is a T code BAPI, and here we have two views. One is the hierarchical, one is the alphabetical. So hierarchical is the component wise, guys. Okay, so here one by one component, we have to be material management. So material master will come on the material management, then purchasing. This is for PO. See, PO is there. So let's say you are going to do a BAPI or file upload for PO, you can go to purchase order, and here the business object, you can go and check out the business object, and there is a documentation. The business object is a request. So you can read all those things. Okay, this is the documentation. Then we have tools and all. So here, let's say I'll go here, maybe create from data 1. Okay, so the function module is this. So this is the name of the BAPI, and you can read this documentation. Create, enjoy, purchase order. Function module enables you to create purchase order. So you can read it. So here all the documentation are there. You can read about the BAPI. Okay, so we are checking for material. So it is not under material management. So cross application component maybe no. Okay, so logistic execution probably. Let's try to see. No. So maybe I am unable to find it. If I know the path, I can go. Okay, basic component. No. Business warehouse, cross application, enterprise portal, finance, controlling investment, real estate,
Sir, you are searching
logistics.
what?
I'm searching the BAPI for material.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's say the option 1 does not work out. There is nothing coming in the event tracing. Tracing is blank. In that case, how to find it? Okay, so maybe logistic basic data, and here is the material. Okay, so if I expand, all the BAPI are available here. Maybe material, availability, edit, and all those things. So this is a second option for you. So if you don't know what is the BAPI, then you can search it. And the third is Google. Okay, BAPI for material creation. And here is the BAPI is coming. Okay, give me a moment, guys. Okay, so the third option is here. In the Google, you can get more, but don't tell this in the interview. Okay, so many times people will say how to find the BAPI. They will say we'll find it in Google. So interviewer will not like it. Okay, but this is the truth actually. Most of the people will find the BAPI in the Google, but that's fine. Don't tell it. So when this comes up, this question comes up, you say that I can do a event tracing with SWELS, and I can find out the business object. And from business object, I know that the BAPI will be a method. Okay, map to a method. So I can know that in case I'm unable to find it, I'll go and check the T code BAPI. Okay, so don't say that I'm finding out in the Google, but most 99% of time you'll find the BAPI on the Google. Okay, but don't say it. Okay, so here. And guys, this is a tough task actually. Okay, so it's not an easy task because I'm showing you 1, 2, 3, 4, that is fine. So like purchase order, sales order, material, and all those things are easy. Okay, and there will be a requirement which you don't know, maybe a equipment or functional location. You never heard of those things, and finding a BAPI will be difficult. Okay, so when you join a company, maybe next month or whenever you are ready, so you will get this requirement frequently. Okay, to create the conversion program. So the first thing will, so you check whether the functional consultant knows the BAPI. Technically, the functional consultant has to give you the name of the BAPI. Okay, so let's say there is a functional consultant who is giving you the requirement to create equipment. Okay, then it is his job to give you the name of the BAPI, which BAPI to call. Okay, in case he don't know, okay, in case the functional consultant don't know, then you have these 3 steps. You can do a event tracing to find out what is the BAPI, or you can check the T code BAPI if you are finding out. And the third step is Google. Okay, but ideally the names of the BAPI which should be used should come from the functional. Okay, so 60-70% of the time the functional consultant will give you the name of the BAPI because there will be a functional consultant for who knows in and out of that module. Okay, so he knows what is the BAPI for material master. Okay, so the functional consultant will give you most of the time, 60-70% of time they will give you, 30% time they also don't know. If they don't know the name of the BAPI, then we have to find out. And here is the process. Is it clear, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So, fine. I'll go to that program. Okay. So, okay, I'll copy the file upload. So now I don't need this parameter. I don't need these 2 tables because I'm not be using BDC. Okay, so I have copied the file upload data. Okay, fine. So now I got this is the function module to create. This is the BAPI for material master. I can go here and modification overview. function module documentation. You can read, create and change material master. You can use this method to create material. You can read this. All these parameters are there. You can click it. It will take you to the new screen. Okay. So that you can do. You can come here. You can read these parameters, and here the help documentations are also there. You can read it. Okay. So this is the function module that I want to call. Okay. So now loop at GT upload into GS upload, and I have to call this BAPI. Okay, I have to call this BAPI. Okay, so couple of things I have to understand here. So first thing is the head data. This is the type. I can go inside and I can see there is multiple field: material, industry sector, basic view, sales view, whatever thing I want it here are there. Okay. So this is one parameter I want to pass. So I can go here. Yes. Material head. Okay. Head is very dangerous. Head. And here basic view I need. Yes, I need the data in the basic view. ABAP to material head and material number. Okay, GS upload material number, GS head, industry sector, GS upload, industry sector, GS material, then material type, GS upload, material type, then GS material group is there. Okay, material group is not there. Okay, I have to find out where is the material group. MATKL material group is not here. Okay, client data, planning, material group. Maybe I'll check client data. Material group is inside client data parameter. Okay, so this one. I'll go here. Yes, mat client type is BAPI Mara. Okay, and here, yes, client material group is equal to GS upload material group. Okay, and that's fine. And here there is another parameter, client data X, and here you can say that type is same, almost in the last it is X. So if I go here, everything is character 1. Every field will be character 1. Okay, so X in the last it is X. So if you see here, BAPI Mara X, BAPI Marci X. You can see BAPI MPOP X. If you go here, so all the things have, almost all fields are character 1, because this structure ending with X is the flag, stand for flag. Okay, so whatever field are there in the Mara, here deletion flag, material group, old material number. And if I go here, deletion flag, material group, old material number. So whatever fields are present here will be present here, but the type will be character 1. And this field is written as checkbox structure. So here, material client X. So I have to define another work area, and in this original structure, I'm only passing material group. So client X material group, same field, I have to pass X. So what does it mean? That I'm telling the system that I am passing value to this field. Please consider updating this field, because in GS material client, there is 141 fields are there. 141 fields are there, but we are not using 141 fields, right? We're only using one field as of now. So out of 141 field, we have to tell the system, out of 141, I'm using this field. So I'm passing X here. That means I am passing value to this. I'm telling that information to the system. If I, let's say, let me check if unit of measure is here, base unit of measure is here. Okay. So I want to pass that also. So GS client base unit of measure is GS of load unit of measure, and same here, base unit of measure equal to X. So out of 141, I'm telling system that I will be passing value to only these two fields. And this is very important. Even if you are passing the value here, if you don't pass X here to this field in the X structure, system will not consider this value. If you want system to consider this value and this value, you have to pass X in the corresponding checkbox structure. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, right. So most of the things we have passed. So guys, material master is a huge T code. It has so many of screen and so many field. So it been segregated. The plant specific fields are here in Marcy. This is MOPI. So you have to find out a field which you are passing is present in which structure. That is also a big work. Okay. So as per the real time requirement, you have to search it and do it. Okay. So most of the things I passed. So one thing is the material description that I haven't passed it. So I'll create a structure. Structure and internal table. Here I can write DYD text type standard table of this initial size 0 and GT text type is this, not type is this, and GS text type is BAPI embedded. Okay. And here I can assign GS text, language is Lango, GS text, material description is GS upload description. Okay. And I can append GS text to GT text clear GS text. In case In case I want to update the description in multiple language, I can create multiple entry in this internal table. So one is Langu, that is the current logged in language. If I need something in Dutch, I can create append another line where the language will be Dutch and the description. Similarly, if I need in French, I can add another entry to GT text. Okay, so this is the text table. Header data, here I can pass GS material head. Client data, I can pass GS material client. Here material client text, and I'm not passing anything. And here I'm only using material description. GT text. Okay, that's it. So no recording, nothing. Okay, done. My BAPI calling has been done. Okay, so it is much easier. It is much easier than BDC. Only you are calling the function module. That's it. It will clear the material. Okay. So, okay. This I don't need. Okay, and this also probably I don't need. Okay, another parameter I need. Export is the return. Okay, BAPI red 2. If we go here, it will tell us whether the call is a success or not. Okay, it also will give us if any error is there or anything. Like similarly, we have the message tab in BDC. Here we have the BAPI red 2. Okay, so this is the parameter. Here we have a field called type, and that will talk about whether it is a success, error, warning, or whatever. And here is the ID, message class, number, and for variables also it will be complete message. Okay, fine. So now if I go here I can define GS return type this puppy red 2, and I will be importing the value here. It's here return. Okay, fine. So now let me put a break point here. Okay, I'll upload the file. And here I'm able to see screenshot. Okay, so here is my head parameter, material index section, material type, basic view, and client. This is the client details, material group, base unit of measure, and GT text, English, and this is the thing. Okay, so now let us run this. Okay, the BAPI has run, and if we see GS return, the material test 123416 has been created or extended. Okay, So the type is S. What does it mean? S means success. Okay, and this is the message class. This is the number. Message. So it is a success. Okay, fine. So this is how we do the BAPI. So let me open the Excel here. And what is the current number? M03 T4. Okay, 44 is not there. So 44, I'll use it in my file. 1 second, guys. 44 is not there. I'll use that in my file. And I'll go to my program. Let's say 38. Upload BAPI. And here so GS return material has been extended. Okay, so I'll go to MM03. So my type is success, right? So I'll create it here. So what is saying? Material, this does not exist or not activated. Here, what I am doing, getting type is success. So if this is success, what does it mean, guys?
It is created successfully.
Is created successfully. But when I'm going, here is the material number. And when I'm going to check, it's saying it's not created. What's the matter? Okay, because whenever we are calling a BAPI, we have to call another function module. If GS return type equal to success or GS return type equal to warning, warning also it will create, or GS return type is initial. Okay. Okay, so sometimes if the call is a success, there will be type will be blank. That is also success. Okay, if it is warning, that's fine. It created with warning, but it's still success. And if S means success. Okay, so you have to call BAPI transaction comment. This function module you have to call ABAP. Okay, so now let us see what's happening. Okay, so I'll start this with again 44. And yeah, the same range also will work, but okay. So here, okay, so this type is S. Okay, so if I go here, so material number 444, 12444 has been created. Then I have to call BAPI transaction commit. Okay, then if I go here, check 444, now I'm able to see the material. Okay, so every time we call a BAPI, after calling the BAPI, we either have to call BAPI transaction commit or BAPI roll back. 77 BAPI roll back. BAPI transaction rollback. BAPI transaction rollback. So even if the call is a success, that thing is still in the buffer. Okay. So BAPI uses a buffer. Okay, BAPI uses a buffer. So whenever we call a BAPI, something got created that is present in the buffer. Okay, not in the database. So we have to tell the system that whatever, so my transaction got success. So whatever there in the buffer, you have to write it in the database. So that's why we are calling BAPI transaction commit. So this is another interview question. Okay, interview question. That after calling the BAPI, do we have to call any other function module? Yes, we have to call. So if it is success, we have to call BAPI transaction commit. If it is not success, then we have to call BAPI transaction rollback. Okay, so there is something other thing is there here, commit work and wait. Okay, commit work and wait. So now I'll run. Doesn't exist. Okay, fine. So this commit work and wait also have the same impact. Okay, commit work means whatever happened in the buffer level or whatever things are there, it will be written in the database. Okay, so now here I'll select my file. Okay, type is S, and what is the material is? Material is 445. Okay, commit work and wait. Let us see if that is created. Yes, it is created. Okay, so now there is another interview question. Will commit work will work for BAPI? Okay, generally commit work will be used in the module pool programming. Okay, so when we will learn module pool programming to write the changes to database, we will be calling the commit work. For BAPI, we have to use BAPI transaction commit. Okay, so the question is, commit was is also working, right? So why to use BAPI transaction commit? Why we have to call? Simply we can write commit work and wait. So that's the question, interview question. Okay, so definitely BAPI transaction commit. Okay, if we go inside, okay, is there any rocket science, guys? Same statement is written, commit work and wait. So there is a two variants are there. Commit work means it will just tell the system to commit the changes and it will go, and wait, if you use it will wait till it is the process is complete. Okay, the same thing, but the difference is here. Difference is here. It is refreshing the buffer. Are you able to see, guys? Call transaction buffer refresh all. It is calling another function module. So it is clearing the buffer. Okay. So yes, commit work will work, but it will not clear the buffer. So it is advisable to use BAPI transaction commit function module. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear,
Yes. Yes, sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So this is what BAPI. So why BAPI, like these two function module are also like BAPI uses a buffer, right? BAPI uses a buffer. Okay. This buffer is refreshed upon BAPI, upon calling this function module. Can we open the rollback and see what is written inside? Rollback. Let's open transaction rollback, and here also rollback work. The same statement we can write, but this will not clear the buffer. Okay. So if we call this additionally, buffer clearing is happening. Is it clear, guys? So same question they can ask. Can I use rollback work instead of BAPI transaction rollback function module? Can I use? Yes, you can use, but it will not clear the buffer. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the thing is, API uses the buffer, right? Uses the buffer. Why? The question is why. So now let's say I'll create a business partner. Okay, so for creating business partner, I will call one BAPI. Okay, then there will be another BAPI to add address. Address to the BP. BP means business partner. Okay, business partner. What is business partner? So this is a new term in S4. Okay, it was there in ECC but was not in used. Okay, business partner. So in S4, in ECC, it was customer, it was vendor, it was employee, and all. So in S4 HANA, it is more unified. Okay, so they have the concept of business partner. So anyone with whom they are doing business. So customer is also a business partner. Vendor is also a business partner. Okay. So this thing is unified. Okay. So there is a T code also for business partner, BP. Okay. The T code is BP. So now let's say you want to create the business partner using BAPI. You can call the BAPI for business partner. It will create the business partner. Then you want to add the address of the business partner. Okay. You call another BAPI. Okay. So now there is two BAPI. So there is chances that this BAPI is success and this BAPI is failure. Then what will happen, guys? I will have a BP in the system where there is no address. So what will be the use? Okay. So how I can do is here is the buffer. Okay. So now I call this BAPI and business partner is created. BP number, let's say this. Okay. Now this BP is where? In the buffer. So I can refer to this number, even if it is not there in the database, I can refer to this BP and I can add the address. It is not there in the database, it's there in the buffer, but I can refer to this BP number in the second BP to add the address. If this is success, then I can do BAPI transaction commit. So what will happen? Both the things will be written, or I can do BAPI transaction rollback. BAPI transaction rollback. So what will happen? Both this business partner and the address will not be written to the database. Okay. So this kind of functionality is been added due to the BAPI buffer. Okay, so what will happen? We call something, we got a number. On top of that, we can call other BAPI. Even if that BAPI does not available in the database, it's still in the buffer and we're still able to call other BAPI. And if all 3-4 BAPIs are success, we can do one transaction commit, which will write everything, whatever there in the buffer to the database. Okay, that's the reason where the SAP is using a BAPI buffer. Okay, so in case you are only writing commit work, this BAPI buffer will not be replaced and it may overflow. It will be full, it will be overflow. Okay, that's the reason when we find our transaction is ready or it's success, we should call BAPI transaction commit, not commit work. So I'm calling a BAPI, business partner create. Let's say that is the BAPI. So one business partner is created. So this is the business partner number. Now I want to add the address. Okay. So let's say after calling this BAPI, I do a commit. Then buffer, it will be written. Whatever there in the buffer, it will be written to the DB. Now I'm calling the second BAPI that will add a address to the BP. Okay, now this BAPI is returning error. Then what will happen? I created a BAPI, that BAPI, I created a BP, that BP is created in the table level or DB level, but there is no address. So that's not a right scenario. Okay. So let's say I have a BAPI buffer. When I create a BP using BAPI, that BP is now available in the buffer. It is not there in the DB. It's in the buffer. Then I can call another BAPI on the same business partner to add the address. Okay. So that thing is also happening by accessing the buffer, not the DB. So let's say the adding of address is success. Adding of address is
Sir,
success.
here,
Then, yeah.
sir, here address means what? Address of BP or address column?
No, address of the BP. Address of the BP. So
Okay, sir.
here we were only adding the details like name and all those things. Address are not there. Here we are adding the address. Okay. So now that address is success. That means both the things are in buffer. So we can call BAPI transaction commit so that whatever available in the buffer will be returned to the DB. If these things does not work well, it went into error, I can do BAPI transaction rollback so that nothing will be written in the DB. Nothing is written in the DB. So then that there is no address mean there is no BAPI. There is no address mean there is no business partner. So we can avoid that. So that's the benefit of buffer. Even if we don't write the changes to DB, we can call other BAPI on the same thing to add more details. That is the advantage of buffer, BAPI buffer. Okay. And once everything is success, we should call BAPI transaction commit. It will execute a commit work and it will refresh the buffer. Right. So the full form of BAPI is what? Business Application Programming Interface. API, business API is BAPI. Okay. Now there is this we have discussed. BDC versus BAPI. So now LSMW. Okay. LSMW. LSMW. This is legacy system migration workbench. Okay. The T code is LSMW. LSMW. Okay, if I go here, I can go to the transaction LSMW. Okay, legacy system migration workbench. LSMW is a SAP system tool that support you when copying the data from non-SAP to SAP. So here we can create a project. So there is certain steps are there. Okay, we can execute this step. We can define some of the things. Then we go to next step, define some of the things. Okay, so this is generally used by functional consultant. Used by functional consultant and limited or no coding involved. No coding involved. And there are certain steps. There are certain steps which can be followed to upload the data. We can also do a recording. Recording can be done. BAPI can be called. If I execute here, here you can see standard direct input, batch input recording. Here also you can go to recording and we can create a recording. On top of that, we can do LSMW or there is, this is for the BAPI. BAPI can be called, okay, but there is no programming involved, okay, and there is will be used by functional consultant and not by us, because there is no coding involved. So functional consultant can create their own recording, and they can create their LSMW and input the data. So this is done, generally done for master data, such as vendor master, general ledger, then maybe vendor master, no, maybe general ledger, asset, etc. Okay, so it generally done for the generally done for the master data and one-time activity. So let's say there is a company or a university kit, and we are implementing SAP for the first time. Okay, so once all the configuration and all has been done, we have to import the data to SAP. So we have to see how many computers are there, how many building, all those things will be brought to the system for the first time, one-time activity. So once I import all the systems, all the student and all, then there is no use, right? In that case, we'll go for LSMW, one-time activity. Okay, but there will be other scenario which is recurring. What is recurring? Sales order creation. That's a recurring activity. User will upload the file every day. Recurring. If it is a recurring activity which will be used by the user, in that case we have to go for BAPI or BDC. We should not go for LSMW, because executing this many steps is not user friendly. User will not understand all those things. But if it is for the one-time activity after go live, then we can go for LSMW. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Used for one-time activity. Okay. Import legacy data. So we cannot create a LSMW and give it to the user to create sales order or material master. Recurring activity you cannot do. We went live, we have the data that has to import it to SAP for the first time. We use LSMW for the master data, and we import the data to SAP. Okay, it cannot be used by the user. It has to be used by the functional consultant. So now one time or recurring. Okay, one time means, okay, this is the first question. Second is master data or transaction data. Master data or transaction data. This is the two parameters. If it is recurring, what should be used, guys? BDC or BAPI. If it is transactional data, BDC or BAPI. If it is one time and it is master data, then it will be used for, we can use LSMW if possible. If there will be chances where it is a one-time activity and it is a master data, still LSMW is not possible. In that case, we have to go for BAPI or BDC. Okay, again, when we go to BAPI or BDC, the first preference will be BAPI. If BAPI is available, we have to go for BAPI. If BAPI is not available, we have to go for BDC. Fine. So guys, that's all on this, the conversion. Okay. So
Sir, any
this
example for one time?
one time. So let's say there is a GL. In the FI, they will use GL. you know what is GL? General ledger. Okay, so this is a master data, and uh, that will be used in FI. Okay, so there is a set of GL account. So for example, vendor payment. So vendor payment is one GL account. So doesn't matter like how many vendor they are paying. Okay, so 100 vendor, all vendor entries should go to that GL account. Customer payment is a GL account, something like that. Okay, so now creation of the GL account. So there is a fixed number of GL in the production. One is the vendor payment, one is the customer payment, one is the bank payment, like that. Maybe 20 or 50, maybe 100. I'm just telling few example, maybe 1000 GL. So that 1000 GL are fixed. It's one time. When we go live in production, we have to create those GL so that the transaction can happen. So we can do the creation of GL account using LSMW because this is a master data and this is a one-time activity. Tomorrow, if there is a requirement to create a new GL, so it only take 1 minute to create a GL. They can go and create one GL in the production directly, manually. There will be no file upload. But a scenario like sales order, it is not one time. It is recurring. Every day we'll create sales order. That will be done by the user. Okay, that is not a one-time activity. Every day we have to sell. We have to sell, create sales order. So what will happen? This is known will be take part of cutover activity. Cutover activity. It is a technical term. Activities. Okay, which will be used in the project management. Cutover activity. So what is cutover activity? We set up the system, we've done the development, we've done the configuration. Now for the first time, system will be used. So to use the system for first time, there is certain activity we have to do. So one activity is importing the data, master data and all this GL account, all those things. So this uploading of GL account will be part of cutover activities. Similarly, material creation. Okay, so for material creation, like we can go for a BAPI or LSMW and all. And for GL, most of the FI master data will go under LSMW because that is one-time activity, and that activity will come under cutover activities in production. Okay, because why it is required? Because it is not that the KIT university is starting from today. So let's say today we are going live with SAP. We will be using SAP, but KIT is not formed today. KIT has been formed 20 years before, and they have the data of 20 years back, which has to come to SAP for the first time. Right, going on whatever thing is there, they can directly create in SAP, but whatever past data has to come to the system, right? So that is the cutover activity. And it's not only the uploading of data, any activity that is required to do in production, that will be the part of cutover activity. Data upload is one of them. Okay. Guys, is it clear? LSMW, BDC,
Yes, sir.
BAPI. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in interview, if they ask, do you know LSMW? So you say no, sir. Generally, this is taken care by functional consultant. I know BDC and BAPI. If anything is required, I can do the development with BDC or BAPI. LSMW is will not be taken care by me. Okay. This is the pure functional responsibility. Okay, guys.